Hello, my friend. I am just going to quickly go over to YouTube real quick and make sure that this is working. And let's make sure. Okay, it's thinking about it. I think it's working. Yay. Okay, I will close that so we don't have to listen to me like on double. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to talk to you today, and I'm going to make sure all of these things are working, meaning the comments. If you're here and you want to say hi, I'd love to see a comment saying hello. And thank you so much for joining me today. So, when I was thinking about what I could share with you today, because I gave this talk, a presentation style talk at the Yoga Teacher Comp, and it went so well. You know, when you're teaching and you walk out of the room and it's like, yes, my students loved it. I loved it. Everything was perfect. Maybe not perfect, but everything went really, really well. Well, that happened to me recently. I was speaking at an event and it was so much fun. I just loved it. And so I've been meaning to go live and just talk about it. But then when I was thinking about it yesterday, I thought, you know what? What would I do if you and I were sitting and just chatting and having coffee? What would I share with you today? And so that's what we're talking about today. And so I've got my coffee. I hope you have your coffee or tea or water, whatever you'd like. And we're just going to chat. We're going to have a chat today. And this is basically what I would say. I'm going to take a sip here. If you and I were having coffee and you were to ask me, Amanda, what could I do to create the business of my dreams? What is the thing that I could do right now to set myself up for success over the long run of my business? Any entrepreneur is typically asked this question when we have experienced any type of success. So I get asked this question by people that are just curious, starting business. Of course, the people who hire me to help them in their business, I get asked this question. And so I've boiled it down to a few different things. And there's actually four of them. And I've talked about all of these before, but what I want to do is sit and talk to you just like we were sitting and having coffee and share with you just the all the feelings that I can. Oh, hi, Karen. So good to see you here today. Karen is one of the thrivers inside my membership, and I just adore her. I've been working with her for a long time. We worked one on one, and so she's heard all of this before. But I'm so glad she is here. And oh, hey, Shannon. Shannon's here too. Oh, so fun to see you, Shannon. Thank you so much. So, when I'm asked, what would I say to an entrepreneur who's getting started and has just a lot of questions, right? We don't know. We don't know. I would say number one, and this is the thing that I would say is the most important. There's four things I'm going to talk about today, but this is the most important. If you don't have this one, everything else, you could have everything else, but you need this one. And the one thing that I would say is you have to know what success is for you. So when I say at the end of every podcast episode, at the end of any type of teaching, or even in the beginning, I want to help you create the thriving business of your dreams. But if you don't know what thriving means to you, you'll never achieve it. And the thing that I like to say is that if if you don't define this for yourself, someone else is going to define it for you. And it may not even be actively in your brain thinking about it. What's going to happen is you're going to see people talking on social media, you're going to read people's emails, you're going to hear all of these things, and that will define success for you. It will define that for you instead of you defining it for yourself. Now, admittedly, if I said, I need you to define success for yourself right now, you may or may not have that answer. This comes over time. So it's not something that you're going to know right away, but I would challenge you as you move forward in this season of life of thinking about what is success for you right now. And you might find little things throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout the months as you go forward that define success for you. So, as I started to do this, because my business coach hardcore asked me this, I was chasing a number. I was chasing a number so hard, a very specific number. And he said to me, Amanda, why in the world do you want to reach that number? What does this number mean to you? Why are you chasing it?" And he said, "Absolutely. I hope you get there if that's what you really want. But I need to know why you want to hit that number so badly." And so I really started to think about it. And this has been over a year that he asked me this question, and I am still thinking about it. But the thing is that what I realized through understanding, focusing on like, what is that goal? Why am I chasing it so hard? I realized that I was chasing a number because I heard a lot of other people saying that number. Now, there's some other elements in there too. Of course, I want to reach that number. It'd be great to be able to say it, but I didn't have the concrete feeling inside of myself of what I needed. And so I really want you to think about that. And I want you to think of it may be a number, and that's totally fine. But it also may be something totally different. So for me, what I realized, if you followed me on Instagram and heard me talk about this, water is something that really calms my soul. I love being around water. I was born and raised in Florida. I attribute it to a lot of different reasons why it is so incredibly soothing for me. But I now live in Oklahoma, not near a whole bunch of water. And so I've always wanted a pool in my backyard. And that may seem very vain to you that I am talking about a material thing. And so I would challenge you on that and say, why is that coming up for you? And what is the resistance to that? But I also recognize that success isn't always a material thing. But for me, it was something that I really, really wanted. And so my husband and I have been talking about it for years. We've talked about it for a really long time. Are we going to stay here? Should we think about it? Well, we finally put a pool in the backyard last year. And oh my gosh, the tiniest thing has me feeling so successful all the time. And it is when I get to walk out of my house and put my foot in the water. That's it. That is success on a great day, is me being able to do that. And so I challenge you to think about the big stuff and the little stuff, and saying, what is success for me? Success for me is a lot of it is being able to work from home and having that flexibility and being able to see my family when I want to go to Florida and when I need to take some time off to do whatever it is with my family, and really having control of my schedule and financial freedom. There's a lot that goes into that. So I say all of this not to talk about me, but to give you my examples because that is what I can give you. And I don't want to give other people's examples, but I want you to think about yours. I want you to figure out what is success for you. It may be a number, and that is fantastic, but know the why behind the number. It may be that you want to work 2 days a week. Great. I love that for you. What is success for you? A success in life and in your business? Because if you don't know what thriving success is for you, if you don't know what enough is for you, you will always chase what other people talk about because it's human nature. You're going to chase the thing. You're going to chase the number. You're going to chase the shiny object. You're going to chase what other people tell you. But if you know, if you're grounded in what you know success is for you, that, my dear friend, is going to take you so much further down the entrepreneurial path than anything else. So that's number one, is knowing what thriving success, what enough is for you. So make sure to do that. If you'd like to share what success is for you, I'd love to hear that. Even just a little thing that makes you feel successful in your day. So that would be the number one thing. If you don't have this, the rest of the stuff doesn't matter. So the next thing that I would say, if we were sitting and chatting and having coffee, and this would be the thing that if you found yourself really struggling, thinking like, why isn't this working? If you were like, this feels really hard. If you had come to me and were just like, Amanda, I need a pep talk from you. I need a pep talk from you right now because this is just really hard. This is probably where I would go. I would say, do you have a realistic view of entrepreneurship? And gosh, I thought I did too, my friend. I so thought I knew what I was getting myself into when I started a business. I thought I knew because I watched other people. I did not. You probably did not. And you probably didn't even sign up for this. You were like, I signed up to teach yoga, Amanda. I did not sign up to be an entrepreneur. And here I am. I don't even know what to do. I've heard that. So that's why I know that you might be thinking that. And I would say if you are in a moment feeling just so much like you're struggling, you're probably having unmet expectations. That's probably what is happening. Not all the time, but a lot of the time, this is what's happening. A lot of the time, I see this and experience it myself as well as with anyone who I've ever coached, is we want it to happen right freaking now. I want to grow my email list tomorrow, actually yesterday, right? I want to have this happen right now. I mean, my dear friend Shannon is right here paying attention to me today. How many times have I said that to Shannon? 1,000, right? So many times I've said, Shannon, why isn't this working? I want this to work right now. You are not alone in this. But what happens is we have unmet expectations of being an entrepreneur. But here's the realistic view of being an entrepreneur: it's freaking hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. Why would anyone have a boss? Like, I don't know why anyone would have a boss if they didn't have to have a boss, right? But the thing is it takes a different type of person, a different characteristic, a different level of drive to do what you are doing right now. You love teaching yoga. And if teaching yoga is not what you're doing and you just happen to be here, like, you love doing what you are doing. You don't necessarily love all the things about being an entrepreneur. Trust me, I'm in the same boat. I actually like a lot of it, but I certainly don't like the ups and downs. So that, to me, is a very important thing for me to share with you if you are struggling. There are ups and downs in entrepreneurship that, man, I thought I knew. I thought I knew and was prepared mentally for this. False. My friend, I was not prepared. And everyone told me, every mentor I ever had said, you have to prepare for the ups and downs. So here I am telling you this, and you'll be like, dang, I wish I listened. That's what's going to happen like 3 or 4 years from now. You'll be like, oh, yeah, I wish I had heard that. But the thing is we can't always just hear it. We have to experience it before we really know. And so I do the best I can to tell you and anyone who will listen the realistic view of entrepreneurship. Number one, it does not happen overnight. There are ups and downs that are going to take you from like the most exciting moments in the world, in my opinion, or like, oh my gosh, I did this thing. For me, when something works, I mean, good luck taking me down from that moment, because I am so freaking excited when it happens. When something works out and I have worked really hard for it, like, I am dancing around this room, I'm running around outside, I'm calling friends, I'm doing all the things because I am so freaking proud of myself because I worked really hard and I tried. But there are equally moments when they don't work. And just as high as I am of being excited is as low as I am when it feels like absolute crap that it doesn't work. And that's the swing that I don't know that you can fully appreciate and understand until you've lived it, which really sucks. But I can say, like, you've experienced this in life. Maybe you've had a fantastic relationship that is so wonderful, friendship, partner, whatever the case is. And it is just, gosh, it is such a good moment. And then there's another moment with that same person that, dang, they pissed you off, right? Like, that's a swing, right? This is what entrepreneurship can be like. It is very much a relationship, in my opinion. It's like you are in a relationship and you have to cultivate this relationship, your business, and yourself, and you learn so much about yourself as an entrepreneur. But it's important to have a realistic view of it. And so for me, I'm going to tell you there's ups and downs. And there's so much that can happen that can take you from that up and that down. But if you are truly in a season, because we all go through seasons of life where things can change. If you are in a season where you're like, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, then the ups and the downs are worth it. If you're in a season where you're like, nope, I want a paycheck and I want to check in and I want to check out and that's all I want to do. That's fantastic. But entrepreneurship is not for you in that season. So you either have to shelf your business or be in maintenance mode. You can totally be in maintenance mode once you've gotten things established. But you have to be committed to it because the realistic view is it's not all roses. It's not what people are posting about on Instagram all the time, myself included. I try really hard to show the ups and the downs. But the fact of the matter is when it's a down moment, it's not that you're trying to hide it. Like, I'm certainly not trying to hide the fact that there's a down moment in my business. It's just I'm working my freaking tail off to get back up, right? So I'm doing other things that I don't think about, oh, I should post about that on Instagram, right? Like, we're trying so hard. And so I'm not trying to shame anyone who's posting about being an entrepreneur because I'm talking about myself. But you have to work your tail off when it's on a down season. And so some of the time, you just don't even think about posting and you don't talk about it. And then hopefully later, oh, hi, Lisa. So glad to see you here. Lisa is a new Thriver. I'm so excited. So excited to welcome you in. So, when we're thinking about this realistic view of entrepreneurship, I just want you to know there's the ups and the downs, and that your growth as a business is not linear. This one got me, friends. I am super structured. This is not a surprise to anyone. I'm super structured. I like for things to have a plan and a path and a clean line, right? Squiggly lines, not my jam. I like clean lines. Well, my friend, that is not how entrepreneurship is. It is not linear. So, what I like to share inside my membership Thrive or when I'm coaching with someone, it is when you, let's talk about a launch for a minute because it's one of the things really happens and it comes up a lot. So, like, let's say you launch something. So, you have a new offering and you open it and it meets your expectations. It does well, right? So you've got that. You've got it. Okay. And then you open that offering again and you increase. Awesome. And you're like, this is amazing. Every time I open this, it will then grow. You've got that feeling because you've experienced it now twice. And then the next time you open it, boom, revenue is down because not as many people signed up. Immediately, you second guess everything in your life. Like in that moment, you're like, I've got to burn it down. The business is crumbling to the ground. As you can imagine, I've done this many times myself. But that's why I bring this up because people don't say this. Every launch you have, every time you try something new, even if it starts well, it's not guaranteed to always go that way. It is not guaranteed at all. And so entrepreneurship is not only just the ups and the downs, it is very unstable in terms of like the path. So it's not linear. It's not always going like this. It's going like this. And it feels like that emotionally. And so you're going through all of this and you're thinking, okay, I got this. I got this. But it's those moments of the down part that you're like, I don't know if this is for me. I'm not quite sure if this is for me. And that's the time where you could be in right now and you're really struggling. And so I would say, do you have unmet expectations as an entrepreneur? Did you think it was going to be different? And if you realize that that is the case, just know that it's okay. It's okay that that happened. But I want you to have a new realistic view of entrepreneurship. And so I've talked about all of the ups and the downs and the things that can make it feel shaky. But please know that the amazingness is in there. And if someone tried to make me not be an entrepreneur today, if they were like, nope, Amanda, you need to go have a 9 to 5. It's really 8 to 5, not even really. If someone like plucked me out of the entrepreneurship world and made me do something else, I'd be like fighting it tooth and nail all the way because I love it so much. And I say that because I've just shared so much of it's so hard, the it's so hard stuff that it's like, I want to also say, like, it's worth every freaking minute, in my opinion. And so if you find yourself and you're like, it is not worth it, Amanda, then that's a conversation you'd want to kind of think about on your own. And that would be the thing. Like if you and I were just chatting, I would say, why? Why? What's going on? Do you not like it anymore? That's okay. You don't have to be an entrepreneur. But if you do want to be an entrepreneur, let's find a way to make this fun. Let's find a way to make this exciting for you again. So you lost that love and feeling, and we got to get it back again, right? That's what we would talk about. So the next thing that I would encourage any entrepreneur to do, the third thing that I would say, like, you got to know what success is for you. You have to have a realistic view of entrepreneurship. And I would hardcore, highly, highly, highly recommend setting 90-day goals. So if you're in Thrive, you know I believe this and we live it and breathe it inside my membership. You set a 90-day goal and we track that progress every single week. And the reason that I am so dead set on this is because it is undeniable that it works. Like, this is with 100% certainty that this works. Now, you have to have the deciding factor. You have to be committed. That's the only thing you have to do, is that you have to say, I mean, you don't have to say Amanda, but Amanda, I am committed. Like, if you're here today and you're like, yes, I want to do this thing. I want to step into this entrepreneurial mindset. Yes, I'm a yoga teacher, but I'm going to put that hat on today. Then I want you to say, right with me, my friend. If we were having coffee, I'd say, I want you to tell me I am committed. Say it with me, friend. I am committed. Once you are committed to growing your business, you then set a 90-day goal. I choose 90-day goals because annual goals are fantastic, but there's too long of a time span in between setting it and achieving it. Is too much, and too much can happen in a year. So 90 days is way more realistic. When we've got realistic view of entrepreneurship, we need to set realistic goals. Because what often happens with annual goals is you set this big lofty goal, which is fantastic, but you don't reach it, and then you feel like an absolute failure, right? You feel like absolute crap because you didn't reach that goal, because it's been a freaking year since you thought about it. How many times did you set an intention or a word or a resolution for your year, and you get to the end of the year and you're like, I don't even remember what I said. I don't even remember. That's what annual goals can do. I'm not saying they're bad. I think they're great, but we can start there. But then we really need to hone in on 90-day goals, because when you can set a 90-day goal that is super freaking clear and realistic, then you can actually achieve it. Now, I will say this, your first, maybe even first couple 90-day goals, you're probably not going to reach them. And here's why. Everyone in Thrive is like giggling right now and laughing at this because, oh, Gabby, I'm committed. Yes, I'm going to put your comment right on here because I am proud of you, Gabby. Thank you so much. And thank you for admitting that you are nervous. Yes, absolutely. And here's the thing, I had a dear friend tell me something yesterday because I was feeling a bit nervous about something that was going on. And my friend said, we feel nervous about things that are important to us. And so your business is important to you. And so you feeling nervous is absolutely part of the process. And I love it so much that you're committed, Gabby. So good. I'm so proud of you. And I just love that you decided to share that. Like, thank you for putting it in the comments. That takes extra effort for you to do that today. So thank you. And yeah, we're going to feel nervous for sure about these things. So going back to setting 90-day goals, when we set a 90-day goal, I don't know about, but I know about me and a lot of people who've joined Thrive. And we set these goals and they're really freaking unattainable in 90 days. But it's okay, because what we realize in our first setting of a goal, so first 90 goal, we're going to set this lofty goal and we realize through tracking our progress all along the way that it was impossible to hit that goal in 90 days, because I have this whole training inside of Thrive about setting 90-day goals. And what I do is I actually do some breaking down of dates. And it's like, you think you have 90 days, but you actually don't. Because I don't know about you, but I don't work on my business every day. I think about it every day, but I don't work on it every day, because we need vacation days. We need weekends, whatever your weekend tends to be. It doesn't have to be the weekend. It can just be 2 days off, hopefully. And so we don't work on our business every day, and we certainly aren't working on it all day. We have other things that we have to do in our life. And so you actually have so much less than 90 days in a 90-day time frame. And so you have to look at how many actual days do you have to work on your business? And really, if you want to get super like granular with it, how do you really look at it, you're like, oh crap. There was a 0% chance I could have achieved that goal because I had 10 hours to work on my business, right? Like, of course. But the more that we set 90-day goals, the more realistic they become over time and you actually achieve them. But even in those first few that you set, even in those first few, what happens is I want to encourage you to track your progress each and every week. So if you're as you're going through setting a 90-day goal and then week by week you look at your progress. Here's what I wanted to do and here's what I got done. Here's what I wanted to do and I didn't get that done, but here's why. We track that progress, and it doesn't matter if you actually achieve the goal that you set. You see how much progress you made and you celebrate along the way. This allows you to learn so much about you as a business owner because before you're doing this, you have no idea how you're working. Like, I don't know about you, but I had no idea. I had always had a job where someone told me exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And so here I was on my own thinking, I don't know how long it takes to an email. I have no idea how long it takes to create a website. I have no idea how long it takes to do any of these things. So my analytical brain was like, well, I should track that. So if someone, at that point when I was first starting my business, it was like someone could hire me to write emails for them. You can't anymore. I have templates inside of Thrive, but you can't hire me to write your emails anymore. But originally, that's what I was doing, but I needed to charge for it. I had no idea how long it took me. Just like you probably had no idea how long it took you to plan for a yoga class or a yoga workshop until you did it, right? Until you thought, oh, that took me about 5 hours to do. Now it's very easy for me to say, oh, I can estimate 10 hours for that. I actually did that recently. Someone reached out and asked about something specific about creating a training. And I said that I'm going to estimate 10 hours of production time for that. And I could have never done that 5 years ago, but I can because I know how long things take me. This all plays into setting goals and achieving goals because once you know how you work as an entrepreneur, very specifically, what roadblocks you commonly run into, what stops you from making progress, you can then plan for that lack of progress. This is so key because not one of us in this world will ever be perfect at making progress on our goal. I'm here to tell you, if you think you are not, because we can't. We're human beings. We're never going to be perfect at this. And life throws us curveballs all the freaking time. I don't know about you, but it happens to me on the daily. The other day, I'm recording a podcast episode. It starts thundering. I like, what am I supposed to do? How could I have planned for that? Right? It starts thundering. It's so loud, and the power's flicking, and like, who in the world could have planned for this? And so that's the kind of thing that you it's like, shoot, I can't plan for that, but I can plan for these other things. And so you have to learn what trips you up and you'll never be perfect with all of it. But if we track our progress, and what we do inside my membership Thrive is we have what's called a progress log. And so what I encourage everyone to do is to on Fridays write in their progress log where it says, this was the focus I had for this week. This is the most important task I had. I actually didn't get it done because someone in my household got sick and I needed to take care of them. But I did get this, this, and this done. I at least could write these things or whatever. Then at the end of the quarter, you go back and look at all of that progress and you find some trends, and you find the trends that are talking about, like, okay, this happened and so it threw me off, or this happened and I felt super creative. So then we start to learn about ourselves. Oh, I like to write in the morning. Fabulous. I can grab my cup of coffee and do that. And so this is what, like, when I say set 90-day goals, most people are like, yeah, yeah, sure. That's fine. It's so much more than that, friend. It is setting a goal and tracking progress and celebrating progress along the way so that you feel that momentum and you learn about yourself as a human being running a dang business because it is so different than anything else. And you've got to figure out your flow. Just like you had to learn how you were going to teach and in your own yoga practice, what feels right for you. And you know, those days where it's like you'll wake up and you're like, I could just flow for hours today. And then another day, you're like, I need to lay on the floor. I need to lay on the floor today. Child's pose it is. And so that's what we have to learn about being a business owner. We can follow our intuition. We can do these things, but we have to have some structure and figure out how to actually reach our goals. So when I say set 90-day goals, there's so much more that goes into that than just like setting the goal. It's actually tracking the progress, celebrating, and really learning about you and how you work. So that would be the tip if we sat down and you were like, I just can't seem to achieve a goal. Like, I just can't seem to do it. So that's what I would say there, and really honing in on what keeps you from achieving a goal. And this could be outside of business too. You know, I talk about this with friends and family. They're not running businesses, not everyone, not many people that I know inside my friend or my family circle. But you could be trying to achieve a goal of anything: getting healthier, moving your body more, being cleaning the house more, doing your homework. There's a million things you could be doing as your goal. And a lot of people will say, like, I just really struggle. And my first question is, what stops you? What is the thing that ends up stopping you? Do you procrastinate? Do you find something else to do? Do you tell yourself you're too busy to do the thing? Like, what is stopping you? Because if you can figure out the roadblock, you can work on the block most of the time. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you got to really figure things out and it takes a little bit, but a lot of the time we can, if we can identify the roadblock, we can actually move through it. So oftentimes it's just identifying what that is. And so many times you can do that by tracking your progress and writing. You've done this probably in a journal prompt before and been like, oh, shoot, that's what I do. Okay. Now I know. Now I'm aware. And now I can course correct. And so you're doing the same thing that you would as a business owner as well. So the last thing, so we've got knowing your definition of success. If you don't have this, none of the other stuff matters. Know what your version of success is, not anybody else's, because that's what you want to chase. Your version of success, not mine, not anybody else's that you read about online or know in your personal life. It does not matter. It is your definition of success in your business. Number two is a realistic view of entrepreneurship. If you have unmet expectations, you are going to feel like you are failing. And so we need to have a realistic view of entrepreneurship as we're trying to achieve our goals. Three is setting 90-day goals so that you can track your progress, celebrate the wins along the way, and learn how you are best at being a business owner. How can you set up your business to actually work for you and with you and your characteristics? So you really want to set those goals. And number four, oh, this is a critical one. This is a really, really good one. Find your people. I need you to have a support system. And if you're like me, I am super fortunate to have friends and family who support me as being a business owner. I am incredibly fortunate with that I have in my life. And so I will never not acknowledge that. However, you've probably heard me talk about this before. My friends and my family have, maybe they have a little idea. There's a few people in my family that know what it's like to run a business. Not everyone, and certainly not all of my friends. You need to have people in your life that are running a business that you can talk to about this because it is so different. It is so different. It is a different level of stress. Not saying it's worse than anyone else's stress or better than anyone else's stress. It's just different. It's different stressors. So when we run into a technology problem, like I don't have an IT person, I can ask that. I used to in the corporate world. I don't have that now. So I have to figure it out. I mean, the amazing thing about being an entrepreneur is you learn a lot about a lot, and you end up being pretty good at a lot of things that you didn't think you were actually good at. One of those for me is IT problems. So anything technology related, I should never be in charge of. As evident, everyone in Thrive is like, yes, please, Amanda, please, you should never set up any Zoom call, I feel like, because things break all the time for me. It's just not my strong suit, but dang it, do I try really hard to make it the best I can, right? But I use my network to help, right? So you got to find your people. You have to find your people that will support you. And so for me, that is biz besties that I call, you can call them whatever you want, but it is friends who also run a business who I reach to. You saw me say hi to Shannon at the very beginning of this. Shannon is one of my best friends who really is like a lifeline when it comes to running a business. I think both of us have said it multiple times. We would not have the business that either one of us has without each other. We found each other. We're so lucky that we found each other. And it takes a while to find people like that. Shannon's not the only one. She just happens to be here today. So I'm picking on her a little bit. But I have so many friends that I have met over the years that again take time to cultivate those relationships, but you have people that you can reach out to and say, I am running into this issue, whether it's technology or pricing or marketing or just mindset stuff. There's a lot of things that go into being an entrepreneur. And so you want to reach out to your people and have that support. Now, whenever I talk about this, I always mention my friends who have become my friends over time. But there are ways that you can get support immediately. Like you don't, it doesn't take years to figure out the relationship building part of it. There are ways in which you can do this. So yes, you can cultivate these relationships absolutely on your own. You can also join Facebook groups. You can join, I've been a member Thrive several times during this, and it's because it's freaking awesome. And it's because of the people in there. The Thrivers inside of Thrive, hands down, most amazing yoga teachers and business owners on the planet. I just adore them. And so if you are interested in Thrive, it is open right now. And you can go to here, I'll put that on the, let me see if I have that. Oh, I don't know where it is. Here it is. You can go to my website and check that out. And if you're watching this in the future, you can get on the wait list because it might not be open, but it is there. And you can find groups like mine or like others. Thrive isn't the only business community for yoga teachers. So find your people, find who you love learning from, who's running a group program or a mastermind or a membership like mine, and join it. Get your community immediately and ask for support. The other part about it is you have to, once you find your people, ask for the support you need. It's just like living, my friends. If we don't ask our friends and our family for support, how in the heck do they know that we need it? Right? You have to ask. So that is the one thing that I encourage everyone inside of Thrive to do when they need it is reach out and ask for help. Sometimes that is, hey, can someone test this freebie for me because I need to make sure the sign up thing works? Or, hey, does someone have an idea on this? Because I'm running into this issue with my students. Or, hey, a big one recently inside of Thrive was, do you run a business and have a chronic illness? If so, how do you deal with this? Because the reality is, we all have things happening in our life in different seasons or ongoing, and we have to figure out how our business can support us and we can support our business, right? And so we have to figure out those unique needs. And so that's the thing. You've got to find your people to have that support. And Shannon sitting here saying, thank you so much, Shannon. She's saying, so grateful for your support and friendship. It's amazing to be able to vent on the bad days and celebrate when the wins happen. This is everything we have built Thrive Beast. So Shannon and I get to chat on Voxer, which is where we do these things. But as I have learned so much about working with having biz besties really in my life ever since I've started a business, I realize yoga teachers need this. Yoga teachers need a support system that is built in like from day one. Like you get support from day one. You don't have to cultivate the relationship. And yes, you can also learn about marketing. And that is what Thrive is. So if you are interested in Thrive, I would love to have you in there for sure. And so you can definitely join that at my website, amandamckinney.com/thrive. And if you're watching in the future, the waitlist is there. But I really want you to remember these few things that for you to create the business of your dreams, you have to first know what that dream is. You have to know what success is for you. Please do not forget about this key component. I want you to really remember. There's one thing you remember from this entire long chat that we're having over coffee today. It is, I hope that you know what success is for you. I hope you truly know, because that will help you stay grounded. It will help you stay focused, and it will help you with the comparison of other people, which is so real. And that this entrepreneurship journey, it is amazing how many people are sharing about being an entrepreneur and helping other people who are growing their businesses. It's amazing. I love it. But we easily compare ourselves to other people. So please, please, please know your definition of success. What is enough for you so that you don't fall into that comparison trap and think you have to follow someone else's definition of success. And I just thank you so much for listening to me talking for so long. And again, I invite you to join Thrive or the waitlist. And if you're here live today or watching in the next few days before June 12th, I'm offering a bonus. I have decided to offer a bonus for anyone who joins today, which is what is today, the 9th? Yeah, I'm looking at my calendar. So June 9th through the 12th, I will have a bonus where I will actually customize a Thrive starter guide for you. So when you join Thrive, it's a really cool system where you join and you get to indicate what season of business you're in, and then you get really customized content based on that season. But oftentimes people join and they're like, there's so much I really I just want to know what I should do, what I should do personally. And so I have decided that for everyone who joins until the 12th, what you'll do is you're going to fill out a questionnaire, answer a few questions, and then I'm going to actually record a video for you that says, thank you so much for joining. Lisa, I'm going to use your name because I know you're already in there. Lisa, thank you so much for joining. I have looked through your questions, and here are the 3 things. I don't know if it'll be 3, but I'll say these are the X number of things that I want you to watch this training and take these actions, and then this training and take these actions. And then I want you to tell me about it inside the community. And that's what I'm going to do so that I'm really connected to your business and you get to ask for customized support. This is something that I opened up some coaching spots when I first opened Thrive. Those are already taken. So I don't have any more time on my calendar for one-on-one calls, but I do have this availability where I can give you a customized plan for what you're looking for. And so I really wanted to do this for you. So make sure to jump in there if you're interested in that. But thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for all your comments. I'm really excited that you were here to listen to those few things that I would suggest if we were sitting and chatting and having coffee. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Cheers, my friend.